From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. On one level, it's one of those distractions that have been so numerous during this campaign season, except this is more than that. A Democratic operative named Hilary Rosen was appearing, as she often does on cable news, as an unofficial surrogate for the Obama campaign and Democrats in general. Then she uttered the words that blew up upon impact. She said, among other things, Ann Romney hasn't worked a day in her life. And right then, it rekindled a debate about American women working at home and outside the home. By the end of the day, the president, vice president, and first lady had weighed in. Rosen apologized, and an issue that wasn't an issue yesterday is a big one today. We begin our coverage tonight with NBC's Andrea Mitchell in Washington.
In small businesses,
Only 24 hours ago, Mitt Romney was surrounding himself with women and has always leaned heavily on his wife, Ann.
Since my sweetheart, Ann Romney.
Trying to narrow a gender gap that has become a virtual canyon during the contentious primaries. Then Romney was handed a political gift wrapped up in a bright pink bow when a prominent Democratic strategist and CNN commentator not working for the White House argued that Ann Romney cannot relate to average women.
Guess what? His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. She's never really dealt with the kinds of economic issues that a majority of the women in this country are facing in terms of how do we feed our kids, how do we send them to school, and how do we worry, and why do we worry about their future.
With lightning speed, her remarks about stay-at-home moms exploded on Twitter. The Romney campaign called it a kill Ann strategy. Obama advisor David Axelrod tweeted, also disappointed in Hilary Rosen's comments about Ann Romney. They were inappropriate and offensive. The First Lady, who worked outside the home part-time while raising her girls until the 2008 campaign, tweeted, "Every mother works hard and every woman deserves to be respected." And Ann Romney wrote her first tweet, "I made a choice to stay home and raise 5 boys. Believe me, it was hard work." Mrs. Romney also went on Fox.
My career choice was to be a mother. And I think all of us need to know that we need to respect choices that women make. Other women make other choices to have a career and raise family, which I think Hilary Rosen has actually done herself.
The president said there's no tougher job than being a mom.
I've watched Michelle, who for most of her career had to juggle work and family, but there were times where she was on maternity leave, and I promise you that's work. I think this was an ill-advised statement by somebody on television. It's not something that I subscribe to. Moreover, my general rule is you don't talk about the spouses of elected officials.
In the middle of the firestorm late today, Hilary Rosen apologized for her choice of words.
Mrs. Romney, I applaud your decision to stay home and raise what are obviously 5 wonderful boys. This is not about stay-at-home moms versus working moms. I think your husband needs to stand up for women's economic struggles, and so far we have not seen how he's going to do that on the campaign trail.
Rosen also called the spat a distraction to avoid Mitt Romney's real record, but she has clearly touched a nerve, reigniting a debate that has raged as long as there have been women and work, both in and outside the home. Brian?
Andrea Mitchell in our D.C. newsrooms to start us off tonight. Andrea, thanks. As we said, this is likely not a one-day story, and it's certainly not just a Washington story. As NBC's Chris Jansing found out today, this one prompted talk all over.
Maria Smith is a suburban Atlanta stay-at-home mom of 3, with a 4th on the way. She considers herself a liberal, but was shocked when she heard Hilary Rosen's comments.
I felt offended. I felt mad. I felt like this is someone who I thought was on my side, but actually really didn't understand me.
Today, she discovered she wasn't the only one with a visceral reaction.
I have talked about this today at preschool pickup. I was at the playground talking with some moms about it, and I was kind of surprised at how many people have picked up on the story.
A story that started out as a political discussion has revived a very different conversation, decades old, hitting an apparently still raw nerve about a woman's place. Lesley Jane Seymour has worked at women's magazines for 25 years and is now editor of More.
Welcome to the Mommy Wars version 2012. I bet you that every single woman on the train, my train home tonight, is going to be talking about this. Somebody threw one little match in the pile there, and the whole thing ignited.
That's clear from impassioned posts on the comment sections of news and women's websites like our own iVillage.
Women are not a monolithic interest group.
Kelly Wallace is chief correspondent for iVillage and a working mom.
This debate totally resonates. I think about this issue all the time because I, of course, feel conflict like I think so many other women. When I hear my little ones running around the playground and I'm not there, I think, wow, I wish I could be there. It doesn't get any more emotional, I think, than the mommy wars.
On the Huffington Post, a columnist suggests that for the election, the Hilary Rosen kerfuffle means absolutely nothing. But for women, it's giving new life to an unsettled and unsettling debate. Chris Jansing, NBC News, New York.